So you're in the middle of a sales meeting. What happens when someone objects to your solution, your timing, your approach, your pricing, your haircut, whatever it might be? They object to you. That's not a no, it's a maybe, it's an objection. Craig, we like you, we like the approach that you have, you're way too expensive. What do? Well, there's a distinct contrast between how high performers handle objections and how low to moderate performing salespeople handle objections. Here's what low to moderate performing salespeople do. They answer the objection. I know that sounds strange, like Craig, duh, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Yes, you are supposed to do it, but not yet. High performers add a few steps of a process that make them high performers. Here's what the process looks like. It is 5 steps. Yes, that sounds like a lot. This is what high performers do. This is what we as salespeople should be skilled and disciplined in doing every time we get an objection of any stakes. Pricing, approach, timing, priority. You're not the right fit. Your entrepreneurial company's too small. Your IBM corporation's too big. Whatever that objection is, we should follow what the high performers do. And it starts with step 1, encourage. Think about this. It's very counterintuitive. Like, wait a minute, Craig, you're telling me to encourage an objection? Yep. Why? Because most salespeople, when we handle an objection, and I am exhibit A on this, I have caught myself so many times sort of jumping and going, yeah, but, right? And I jump right to the answer to the objection, what I think the answer is. If it's a pricing objection, Craig, you're too expensive, I jump right to, now step back, Justin, think about the ROI, think about the return on investment. If you think about it that way, we don't look as expensive. Whatever my answer is, it doesn't matter, but I jump right down there. That is the answer. That's the answer, but it's just too soon. That's what low to moderate performing people do. What high performers do is they look Justin dead in the eye and they say, he says, Craig, we like you, we like your approach, but you're way too expensive. And Craig says, Justin, tell me more about that. Is it a question of priority? Is it a question of raw numbers? It's just not in the budget for this year. You'd have to gather up the money from other places. Talk to me about it. They encourage the objection. What that does right now in the moment is channel non-defensiveness. I'm not defensive, I'm not afraid, I've had this conversation before, I'm a mature salesperson, I can handle this. It's an executive level conversation and it creates that feeling with the customer just in that first step. Now, the second step is clarify. And these are questions. What are your clarifying questions? So notice what I did is I did the sort of 1-2 punch. Justin, tell me more. Is it a question of, and I go right into clarifying. Is it a question of priority? Is it a question of raw budget numbers? Do you have to gather this money from other places and that creates chaos inside the organization? Talk to me about it, talk me through it. And I ask a series of clarifying questions, that's step 2. Step 1, encourage. Step 2, clarify. Step 3, yet another thing that differentiates high-performing salespeople from low to moderate performers is called the confirm. We have that conversation, Justin and I. He says, well, Craig, it's a sort of a combination of things. It's priority, and yeah, the raw numbers are just big, so that's gonna be a struggle for us. And we do that dance, and we do that dance in step 2, the clarifying phase. Then I do the confirm, which is step 3. So Justin, let me make sure I hear you. So there's really 2 concerns here. There's a priority concern, and then there's just a sort of a budget fight concern, meaning you've got to go out of this room and you've got to raise that money somewhere to afford this project. Am I hearing you correctly? I'm confirming what I heard. It's active listening. It's also tremendous discipline. He says yes, because you've just heard it, you've just restated what you've talked about, and now, and only now, can you go to step 4, which is the answer. We call it the response. And so I can say, Justin, makes total sense. Let me jump back up for a moment. Let's talk about overall return on investment. And then I do my dance, whatever that answer is, and you all have the answers. Most salespeople have the answers. They just provide them too soon. And then the 5th and final step is, after I've outlined the ROI model with a pricing objection or whatever it may be, I say, Justin, let me just, this has been really helpful. Let me just check. Do you have other concerns about pricing, or should we move on? And what that's a gracious way of saying is, Justin, are you stuck in this? And we're gonna not get there, or can I move on with my sales process? Now, I would never say that to someone, but if I just say, Justin, do you have other concerns about pricing, or can we move on? Most of the time, people say, no, we can move on. It's not a silver bullet. You haven't solved all their problems, but you've given them a way to think about it, and most importantly, you've stayed up high in the process. 1, 2, and 3. Stay high. Stay up in encourage, clarify, and confirm, because guess what, folks? That's where credibility is earned. Credibility, alignment, confidence is earned in 1, 2, and 3, not the answer. You'll get to the answer. Trust me, you'll get to the answer. Live up here. That's what handling objections looks like.